So what we're gonna do now? So now without recording, we're just gonna do say everything that we did before, and
No,
then let's reenact it.
no.
All right.
No.
So me and Andy were talking about running, right? So let's talk about that and biking.
Uh, I ran a half marathon 2 weeks ago. That was fun.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
Three
he
nice.
weeks
told me
ago.
that.
I've been sick for the last few days actually. So that was like that's why I said let's. I've actually been playing something because I've
Mhm.
been sick at home. So
Mhm.
Really, too much running?
uh no, I just got like a cold, and when I get a cold, I become a little bitch. Like I'm in bed. I took 2 days off of work. Yeah, so I can't deal with being sick. I hate it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
so
us men do.
Man, yeah, we can't. No, I just curl up in my bed. My room was like I was ordering food, just not leaving my room for days.
Yeah.
that's how you get better.
Yeah, it worked. I mean, I'm going back to work tomorrow, unfortunately.
Oh, you was off this whole time?
These last 2 days, yeah.
Okay, so I know you played a lot of games.
It's great.
I played like one game a lot of time, basically.
Which game is that?
So I'm a big old school RPG fan. So I played in March they released the Suikoden 1 and 2 collection for all systems and stuff. And Suikoden's an old Konami PlayStation era RPG. Started there. They made it to Suikoden 5 on PS2, and then they had some weird spin-offs. But Suikoden 2 is like heavily considered one of the best RPGs like
Mm.
ever made. It's amazing. So this and then lately I bought a lot of old classic because they're basically re-releasing everything at this point.
Mhm.
Anything you've played on PlayStation for the 9 out of 10, it's been re-released in some form.
Hmm.
So I bought all like a lot of these games, like a lot of these RPGs, Grandia and all this other, all these Final Fantasy pixel remasters, all stuff. And I don't play any of them though. But Suikoden was the one where I was like, if I get that, I will play it. And so it comes with Suikoden 1 and 2, which were both the PlayStation games.
Mhm.
I had played Suikoden 1 earlier because it's short. It's like it's an RPG, but it's only like 12 hours, which is pretty short for an RPG. So plus, if you play Suikoden 1, you can import. This is something Konami always back in the day had all these little cool memory card things that you could do for other games like Metal Gear.
Oh yeah.
If you had what was it?
What game?
Psycho Mantis boss fight, he
Mhm.
would read your memory card and be like, "Oh, I see you like Ridge
Castlevania.
Racer or Castlevania
Oh
or
yeah, I remember
Suikoden." He
that.
would say, yeah, he would say
Mhm.
that based on
Yeah.
if you had other Konami games. So Konami was always doing back when they was like they're trying again now, but back when they was really doing stuff, they'd always do that. So one of the things that Suikoden one is if you saved your data, you had to get everything completed though. Like you had to get all 108 stars. That's the big thing about Suikoden is 108 characters you recruit throughout the game.
Mhm.
Um, not all of them are fighters, but whatever. They help your castle. If you beat that and get the good ending, you save that data, and then you could bring it into Suikoden 2. Now Suikoden 2 is all it takes place in the same universe as 3 years later, but it's mostly a new cast of characters with some old returning characters. But like the heroes are never the same, like the main heroes. Uh, but if you import the save, one of the coolest things is in the middle of the game, you can recruit the first hero from that game and bring them into your adventures, which is like in any RPG that's never usually done, right? It's always
Yeah.
a new character. You never get to go see the old character, who he turned down being, whatever after he won the war and he
Mhm.
kind of they always go off and do their own thing. They don't ever want to stay back and rule. So the fact that you could just find him in the second game and use him and he's like really strong because he was the hero from the first game, whatever. But anyway, so I sat and played that all the way to the end, and I just remember like this is such a timeless game. It has pixel art animations and
Mhm.
it's so stuff. I looked into that game. I'm playing that game. I'm like, the developers, you could tell, especially back in the day, sometimes developers really, when they really were passionate about a game, you could see it. There's so much work that goes in. There's so many mini games. There's out of all these little quests that like you just don't really see in games today in the same way. And I was like, this they really put a lot of effort
It's a lost
into
art.
this game that really it didn't sell well, but it was kind of one of those games that Like it was word of mouth, and it became one of those like if you looked on eBay before it was remastered, it was like $300 for a copy of the
Wow,
game on
that's
play. Yeah, on eBay.
crazy.
It's one of those kind of games. Um, and I always had my copy, but then I like lost it. But then they re-released it on PlayStation, but I never really played it. But this like in the remasters, which is great by the way, it's a great remaster. They HD res a lot of the textures and stuff because some of the things are 3D. They kind of have some of that HD 2D look, but not with the all the sprites, but the backgrounds and stuff.
It's pretty much
Uh,
what they did with the Final Fantasy collection, right?
a little better than that. Like
Hmm.
those kind of the Final Fantasy collection was going for a certain look
Hmm.
of keeping it very old school.
Yeah.
This brings it like makes the water look really nice. Does a lot of extra things on
So,
top of it. They just left the sprites exactly the same.
so it's pretty much like Octopath Traveler, you would say.
Mm, I'm trying to think. There was another recent game that it reminds me more
Mm.
of where they prioritize not touching the sprites because people think sprite work is like
It's artwork. Yeah,
don't touch it.
that's the
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
identity.
they
Mhm.
didn't, and so they made sure not to touch it. I think it looks a little. You could see it a little bit when you're playing in HD. Like it's a little
Hmm.
very spritey, but other than that, it's still like just the animations and the thing, the music.
Hmm.
So it was like I was just reliving, you know,
Your childhood memories.
childhood, and
Hmm.
it is such a it's one of those really hidden gem
Hidden
kind of
gems.
games. Yeah, like I don't want to go crazy with that, but it really is because
Hmm.
the series is like they are reviving the series too, but of course it's a fucking mobile free to play.
And
Like
that's the way.
I'm I was and it look the thing about it is it actually looks good,
Hmm.
but it's come on, it's one of those premium. But yeah, so I've been playing that, and that really like made my day. Just going through that and playing that game, and uh, you know, that's what I've been doing.
What about you,
Sweet.
Steve? What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? All right. So what I've been playing, it's actually kind of funny. So I actually recently just got like a used Xbox 360E. I don't know if you guys know about that system.
No.
So it's pretty much just a kind of revision of the Xbox 360 S, but it looks more like an Xbox One. It has
The
500 gig.
black,
Yeah, it's black. Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's just a slight revision. But the reason why I got it was because I wanted to download all my Xbox 360 games and just have them in one place, because when I used to have Xbox Live games with gold, they would give you all these free games. And a lot of times in my old Xbox, I never had enough storage to store them
Mm.
all.
Yeah.
Wait,
Um,
question: you have Xbox? What other Xboxes do you have?
so I pretty much have all the Xboxes. I have
So
Xbox.
you couldn't download some of this other stuff on like the newer ones because
So
Xbox always goes about a backwards compatibility with everything.
so here's the thing, right? So I can download it on Xbox One, but I didn't want all my Xbox, 360 games to take up all the space, and
Oh,
also
so you had a
too.
space issue.
Space issue, yeah. And even though I do have external hard drive on that one, also
Mm.
too with certain games on Xbox One, it's not backwards compatible. Like for example, Need for Speed Underground. I bought my third copy, you know, like a couple of months ago, and I'm like, I gotta play this game because I've had Sterling knows the story, but I've had this game a couple of times, and other times it's kind of disappeared out of my hands. Let's just say, right? So, I had to get this game because I'm like, if I don't get this game, it's just gonna go up in price as time goes on. So I got it for a pretty decent price on eBay.
You think so? You really think that game will go up in price?
I mean, how much it was like 50 or something like that I paid for.
Really?
I
Recently?
mean,
Yeah,
This is a
how much
360
is
game?
it's a 360 game. Yeah, it was like 50 or 60 because Need
Holy
for Speed
shit.
Most Wanted is one of I guess the most popular.
that's the most popular, yeah, Need for Speed,
Okay,
yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I used to see some of them go for 120 and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Now, granted, the one I have doesn't have the original case, which is probably why it was a little cheaper. But I'm like, listen, I'd rather just have the game than not have the game because
Yeah.
I still never beaten it yet. Because every time I had lent it out, it never came back to me.
I beat
You
it
know,
on the
Oh, like your
PSP.
Street V3.
yeah, I wonder what happened to that one.
I don't know, man. You lent
Yeah,
it to me and it grew legs and walked away,
yeah,
bro.
so
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I played the game like one time, to be honest. And then
So
I've never.
So everyone,
You,
for those who don't know, I've mentioned this story before on the podcast. Years ago, probably 15 years ago, I probably or 12. I don't remember how
no,
long.
more like 20 years ago,
20
bro.
years. Yeah, wow. Look at the time.
We were like
Um,
17, 8, 16, 17, 18.
I let this guy NBA V3. I was so hyped to play this game because I played the sequel at his place, and then I love that game, and then I'm like, yo, I love this game. I'm gonna play it. And Story was like, yeah, let me borrow it. That's all right, no problem. Let him borrow it. And then I don't know what happened later on. He just said, I don't know what happened to it. And I truly believe he doesn't know what happened to it. But I'm
I
just
don't.
like,
I had the case, but the game
yeah, it was gone. So
was just gone.
so
I
yeah, there
played
was
it like 2 times, and it
yeah.
was, and it, we used to hang out at Justin's house. That's where all the games were,
Hmm.
and sometimes games would just get eaten up in his house. I don't know, like his house would just devour them, and we'd
I
never
guess
see them
so. It's
again.
the game monster.
Yeah. I've lost countless amount of RPGs there,
Hmm.
or it wouldn't even be the whole. It'd be like, where's my disc 2 out of 3 or something? Like to be one specific disc of a game would just be gone, or
Hmm.
something like that. And Street, you know, that was
Yeah,
one of them.
it was one of those games. But
One of those games.
yeah, going back to the Need for Speed. So anyway, going back to the Xbox. So I just been setting up my Xbox. It's a 500 gig Xbox. Just been downloading all the free games that I got over the years. And it's so interesting with Xbox Live Games for Gold. Like, even though you needed Xbox Live to download them, once you have them, it's yours. Like it's just absolutely yours, which was great. So I have
I
about
have a few
100
of those
games.
games then for
Mhm.
sure. I have, yeah, I had that for like a few years, so I know I have some games
It was, in
there.
the beginning they had some great quality games. You got some really good AAA titles, but I think towards the end of the cycle, that's when the games kind of got a little bit
Yeah,
like,
they realized they was giving away some good shit, and they say, "Wait, no more of
yeah,
this."
they're like, wait, what's going on? Like, as soon as they started giving away a Kingdom of Kiflinks or something like that, I was like, okay, yeah, now the quality's starting to go down. But overall, a lot of good games that was on there, like Assassin's Creed one, pretty much almost the whole series was available at some point. So I just downloaded all the games again, and I started playing Need for Speed Most Wanted again. And man, that game is so fun. Like it is like it's a bit janky in some aspects, but it is just like fun arcade racing, and it's just brought me back to the old days. So I've
But
been
is
playing.
it is
Hmm?
it funny that most now the video game industry, they see that people love the remakes, like the old school. They want to play the old
Hmm.
school games. They're not wasting time in playing the new games that are coming out, right? Because Resident Evil, for example, came back with all those remakes. I mean, it
Hmm.
brings that like
Nostalgia.
that yeah, like you yeah, I see why. Yeah,
I
the
think it's
nostalgia.
part of the. I think part of the reason is because they know like game development is so expensive, so they kind of want to go with like, we know this will sell if we remake this,
Hmm.
so let's just
Change
not
the
take any
graphics a little bit.
risks.
Built-in audience already.
Yeah,
Built-in
Yeah.
audience
let's
ready to
not take
play.
any risk, and let's
Hmm.
just remake everything. Let's re-raster or remake this, and we
Hmm.
Yeah.
know it'll sell. We don't have to get any creative, really people to work on it, because all we gotta do is expand it a little bit, make some things look a little better.
Hmm.
I'm not
Hmm.
saying that like a lot of work didn't go into the Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, because a lot
Yeah,
did,
they're built from the
but
ground up, right?
not even that. It was like it's expanded. They
Hmm.
had to re-record things, they had to redo a lot of things,
Yeah.
but the basic skeleton is there, which
Yeah.
that's the hardest part when creating a game. It's just
Hmm.
creating scenarios, characters, and
Hmm.
story.
Storyline.
Once
Yeah.
you got all that there, just to make a remake of it, it takes work, but it doesn't take the same kind of like. It's much harder to make Resident Evil 9 than it
Hmm.
is to make remake 2, 3, and
Yeah,
4.
because the
That's why we haven't
format's already
seen Resident
there.
Evil 9.
Hmm.
It's gonna probably come soon, but
Hmm.
people
Yes.
are even,
Well,
yeah, but people are saying like we might get a remaster of 5 before we see 9. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because
believe that.
it's
I
just
believe we
easier,
see that. Yeah,
and
it's
they
just
know like, oh, people are gonna pay because
hmm they paid before, so why not?
remakes and stuff. Like I get, just like I was just talking about playing Suikoden, a
Hmm.
remaster, right? It's just we are wired that way.
Hmm.
Human beings don't really like change that much.
And it's crazy too, because now when you think about it, like we're looking at how many years, we're talking about Xbox, NBA V3. It's also like over 20 years of the Xbox 360. So, there are so many people who grew up with that. And then to them, that's their old school games. So they're looking at a lot of these, franchises that came out on 360 as like, oh, this is what I used to play when I was a kid. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And now they're all adults and everything. So it's kind of like, we're gonna see a lot more remakes down the line. Like I read Gears of War is coming to PS4, so I expect that to be big because I feel like a lot of people who play that when they're younger probably want to play it again on another system and things like that.
I mean, the
Yeah.
PlayStation franchise will know, like they'll play like certain games. Like for example, like I know Forza. is on PlayStation now. Like, and people are having a blast on it. Like, I've seen some posts on Instagram, people doing car meetups
Mm-hmm.
on PlayStation. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. So I'm glad Xbox is kind of doing that. I mean,
They have
because
no
I think
choice.
they have no choice there because they're trying to get some of that, exclusive that PlayStation have, like all the exclusive games that the PlayStation have. So,
I feel like they had a choice, but they made a choice, right? I
mm,
feel like they could have, stick to their, their console, continue to try to grow it and, find a competition. But I feel like they looked at, the direction of everything going and they said, listen, at some point, PS5, Xbox 360, I mean, Xbox, whatever console we have is going to be a moot point, right? So might as
yeah,
well just get the games and just pump the Game Pass. As long as they could pump Game Pass and say, hey, here's where you can play all these games, you're
Well,
good.
here's the thing. The game not, they're making money on Game Pass, but it's like a steady income. They're
Hmm.
not going to have a new game come out on Microsoft and make a lot of money on it because
Hmm.
anybody that has a Microsoft anything is going to have Game Pass. So they were like, well, shit, we need to make some extra money. Well, we got to sell this somewhere where they can't just Game Pass it, and that's where PlayStation comes in. So now, if you want to
Hmm.
play any of these games, at least they're going to now make some sales out of it. Because
yeah, yeah,
I mean, let's be
Hmm.
real, they're not going to make no sales on Xbox because they release all their games. Game Pass is great
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
gamers, but
Yeah, it is.
it can't be that great, especially when not that many people
I mean,
own
I,
Xbox. That's the issue.
I think it has to be doing good for Microsoft. I feel like they're hedging all their
Yeah,
bets on the
how good is
business
it
of.
though? Because think about you got to look at the sales of the console. If they were doing PlayStation or Switch numbers and people were Game Pass, and yeah, but they're so far behind
Yeah,
yeah.
this generation.
But you
and I
got to
think
see
that's
the
their
price
fault.
went up, and the price went up
And
for.
now, well, yeah, they're already throwing the
Yeah,
towel and
yeah.
doing that shit.
I don't think they care. They're like, listen, if we're gonna sell it, at least
No
we're gonna
one's
make a
buying
little
this
more.
anyway. Let's just raise the price.
Yeah, and it was crazy. I wanted to buy one eventually, but I was just waiting for it to go down at a good price.
No,
And
it
then
didn't go
as soon
down.
as the tariffs happened, I was like, oh, okay, great.
You don't
No,
have a next generation Xbox? Oh,
I have a Xbox Series S.
you got the mini fridge.
Yeah,
yeah, I got the mini fridge too, but right now this thing is like $300.
yeah.
It
So
was 250. It was 250.
it
Now
was 250.
it
Wow.
was 250 when I got it. So
Mm,
right now it's like 300 something, $300 maybe. Yeah,
yeah.
$300.
Yeah,
Well, listen,
nah, I think
if anyone ever sells it, at least you'll get a bit of a better
I mean,
resale value.
I thought about selling it because I usually play on. I play. I don't even have Game
You
Pass
pay piece.
for Xbox. I have it for PC.
Hmm.
So I don't
PC is
even.
the way to go.
PC is the way to go. Yes,
PC is the way to go.
Hmm.
especially with the new graphic cards, the 50 series with the Nvidia. So
I don't know about that, but because I did a lot of controversy with the 50 series. I'm a Team Red guy over here, but I'm Radeon 7900 XTX. The dude be nice, but no PC in general though. It's just
yeah,
because like you're gonna nowadays you're gonna get any of these games anyway. Like PlayStation,
Mm.
once PlayStation said we're releasing PC games, that's
yep,
it.
that's it.
Like
Mm.
we can to me now the only thing you can't get is Nintendo. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you're
Yeah,
not gonna
And
get.
I think they're going to be the final stalwarts. They're not,
I don't think no, they're never gonna. They'll go out of business before they start releasing games on PC. I
So
promise you, Nintendo will never do that.
the Xbox Series S is 379.99. That's for five
379. Series S?
Yes.
379.99.
Wow.
That's for 512 gigabyte. So if you
Damn.
want the 1 terabyte is 429.99.
Nah. That's
So
crazy.
who's gonna get 512? That's like basically
That's nothing. That's
that's
two
nothing. It's not
games.
no, it's not even two games. The updates.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
They're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The updates. And
I
what
don't
do you put on
even
there? Fortnite, and that's it, right?
That's pretty much it.
which you
Listen,
can now just play on your phone.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Uh,
Another thing
it's
too.
back on iPhone, by the way.
Speaking of games we've been playing, another game I recently got. What was it called? Capcom Fighting Collection 2.
I got that too.
I
Got
got
it
that. I
too.
got it.
I
Got it?
played it a little bit. I forgot. I played that a little
Yeah.
smidge.
So tell me, am I the only one who got it because of Power Stone?
Okay. I will say I got it for Capcom vs. SNK too, obviously. But
Mhm.
the Power Stone, I was gonna at first in my head, I was like, oh my God. I want to play some Power Stone. Except
Mhm.
that I knew it's not going to be the Dreamcast Power Stone 2 or Power Stone
Arcade, right?
because it's the arcade. Because I don't know which Power Stone. Power Stone 2 on
Hmm.
the Dreamcast was insane because of all the items that you
Hmm.
had to get. There was a million. This is like unlike Smash Brothers where we just play super serious, no items, Final Destination, whatever.
Hmm.
Power Stone needed crazy shit to be as fun as possible.
Hmm.
And the items were insane. Like when you unlocked all of them after doing story mode a million times and going to the shop and buying everything.
Hmm.
And so once I was like, damn, and I played Power Stone 2 and I was like, it's a little muted
Hmm.
without all the crazy items. And it's toned down from Power Stone 1. Power Stone
Hmm.
1 being a 1v1, it's kind of wild. Like in terms of like how much damage characters do
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Uh, so but yeah, no, I play Power Stone and I'll play it again, but I definitely wasn't here for that. I had to bust out this bad boy
See?
just to get back
Ooh,
into the
okay. Look at that.
just to get back into
Oh,
the
Wait,
anytime I play
did you
Street
get it for the
Fighter.
PC? Did you get it? You got it for the
I
PC?
got it for the Xbox 360, but it works. It works for the PC.
No, no,
So
I'm saying the game. More Capcom fighting
yeah, PC. Always PC, man. I'm a PC guy.
PC guy for
I
life.
don't even have. I don't even know where my PlayStation 4 is, and that's the last thing I've had. I haven't had anything since the PS4.
my
Mm.
PlayStation 4 is underneath my guest bedroom.
Yeah, I feel
Same
like
with, same with my Xbox.
yeah.
My PS5 is right there, but it's not connected to my monitors at all because it's on top of my PC. So
This is the
I,
first time I haven't bought a PlayStation. This is the first time I've never bought the next
And
PlayStation.
technically you don't have to anymore.
I don't. Well, for
Yeah.
what? To play? The only thing I'm missing out is like some of my friends are, then some people are
Hmm.
just never gonna come to PC. Like
Hmm.
you could tell them it's better in every way. You don't have to pay for online. You don't have to do all this other shit, and
Hmm.
they still, you know,
I mean, yeah, they're hardcore fans to
they're
of course.
just
I mean,
they just need a good push and let gravity do the rest. Like I'm telling you.
that's how my
I,
friend did. My friend pushed me to a little bit. He's like, just get you a PC, and he walked me through the steps, and then even though after I purchased the PC, it was just sitting there, and then one day I was just like, you know what? Let me see how this thing goes, and man, I play Call of Duty on PC, and I never went back.
never turned
And
back, right?
it's like when I built my first PC because I took the plunge just on my own. I just something about it. I always hated running PC games and never being able to pick anything other than minimum settings because I didn't even have a graphics card and I didn't, So I was like, no, I want to be able to play something on max. So I bought a PC and I bought one pre-made and that was my first step into the thing. And then I was like, some parts didn't really work. Like when I got it, the graphics card wasn't even plugged in properly. So I had to go in and kind of mess around with that. But once I did it, I was like, this is pretty damn cool. And then once I figured out how to build them myself and all this, then that's when I pushed Ray into getting it. And I said I'm never going back to console. And then finally I had to build Tamel his own because he wasn't just going to do it. But
Hmm.
once I did it, then he was like, yeah, there's no point, you know. There's really like the biggest thing for a console is ease of use of setting up.
Hmm.
Mhm.
There is that, of because you can't say, oh, I just want to play on a TV. You can kind of do that with PC, but there is something to say about just buying a system, plugging it in, and knowing you don't really have to do anything else other than put in your credit card. Because if you want to play online, you got to sign up and do all this other shit.
Hmm.
But nowadays I was gonna say you put the game in, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't even put games in.
Maybe we
Everything's
don't do that
download.
anymore.
Yeah,
So
man.
Well, I
Like
need to
even
go back to doing that and putting games in instead of buying them digitally.
I mean,
uh,
I think that's just the future we're
that
going
age
to.
is
Like,
yeah.
it's gone. Like, like when the Switch 2 was announced, once I heard about game key cards and they're just like, you just give you access to the downloads, I knew it was a wrap.
I
You
think
know,
they did the same thing with the old Switch. So you got to do virtual
S-
download or something like that.
some games, I think some games, if it's too graphic intensive, you need like an online connection at all times because they probably pulled the game from a server. But now, like all Switch 2 games are like that. Like even Mario Kart, like you're just pretty much down. There's really no difference between the game using the cartridge and the download that you download directly into the system. The only
But
thing is
look,
that you
this
need
is the
access with
thing,
the
right?
card. Mhm.
If you look behind you, you own these games.
Yeah.
You own them. There's no
Mm-hmm.
like license getting pulled back or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Technically,
You know,
technically,
yeah,
No,
you
that's
own
what
a
they say.
license. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
they
yeah,
even say even a game that you have, even like a Nintendo cartridge, they've always said
Hold on, let
that
me
you
see.
actually only own. Yeah, like somewhere in the manual or somewhere it does state
All right. So I got a
that
cartridge right here. Let's
you.
see. Let me
That's
see.
not gonna say that on the back. It's like gotta be wherever.
Do not
But
store at extreme temperatures. Do not immerse in water. Do not clean with benzene, thinner, alcohol, or other such
man, you
salts.
always cleaning that shit with alcohol. That's the
I
only way it
did
works.
that. I did that.
But
Well, I'm pretty
like,
sure the somewhere it says
but
that.
like they've said, like even like in PlayStation era, like you've always been buying licenses to games. It
Mhm.
was just that they had no way to enforce you if they ever took the license away. Now with digital shit, they can enforce that and shit, and it's like it's all that fine print shit.
Nah, man. I don't know. I just that idea of like not owning a game.
I'm scared. My Steam
Yeah,
library could go away at any time. I have
yo,
500 games on Steam.
yes, like all my games.
500 games I have on Steam,
Oh
and
my
that shit
god.
can go away. How much I have? 501 games, and they could go away at any fucking time
Yeah.
that they want to. Like I remember that when that first happened to me on Xbox 360. When I was like, I think I bought like Golden Axe and all these other old Sega Genesis
Mhm.
games, and then this happened to Steve too. Like one day I just wanted to go play it, and it was just gone. It was a
You-
demo version. And I was like, I bought this real game, and then they just nope, it was gone.
Oh
So
my
you know what's
god.
funny? Going back to that, because I know we had an issue with that. I was actually still able to download a couple of games that, even though they're no longer available for download, they
Mhm.
were still there. Like X-Men, the arcade game. I thought my old Xbox 360, I couldn't play it anymore because sometimes it would say it was a demo. Now that I re-downloaded it, now it's back to kind of normal. I can actually play it, which is actually surprising. And then the only game that I don't have that it happened to me that I can't even like download again is The Simpsons. The Simpsons, I had that game for a minute, and then just one day it just turned into a demo, and I was able to download it again.
I mean, it's up to whatever them license holders. And certain games like Simpsons or even Scott Pilgrim that
Mhm.
disappeared, and you were never able to like re-download that shit.
Yeah, unless you
Until
unless you
they
downloaded it initially, which it sucks. But that's
Man.
but that's kind of like I think the world we're kind of going into, and I think this is going to be probably the last generation of cartridges because if Nintendo's doing these key cards, it's kind of like a moot point. I think they're just doing it just for the comfort or the ease, but I think eventually they're going to ease everyone out of using cartridges and just saying just download it
it's just the way it is. I
on the
mean,
system. That's the way it is.
I
You
don't know.
know.
I don't like that. For example, like those old games that you have in the background, you can
Hmm.
plug them and play. There's no software stopping you from playing
Hmm.
them.
Of course,
You
yeah,
know.
that's the beauty
But
of it.
now the PlayStation 5 that I have, like all the Resident Evil, Devil May Cry that I have, like they can just be taken away.
yep,
Like,
Hmm.
the world
ah,
we live in.
Yeah, man. I'm not happy with that because I have that old school mentality, right? I like owning things, but I think we're moving into a generation, and I think for the last 20-25 years, we have been moving to that. As soon as we got into the digital music era with Napster and everything, and you don't need CDs for music. People got comfortable with that with iTunes, and then iTunes is
Same
the
shit
legend.
there. They can take away music from there.
Yeah,
Too.
and that's what they did. They took away your Castlevania music. Remember?
They which Castlevania music?
Remember you told me you had downloaded the Castlevania album and then it just
Oh yeah,
disappeared.
it was gone.
Yeah.
really?
They brought it back, but
Hmm.
it was gone. They took away I had the song, the main theme from Street Fighter 4,
Hmm.
Indestructible.
Oh yeah.
No,
Hmm.
that's gone. There's no longer on iTunes. It was there before. That's
Hmm.
gone.
And
That's
then
gone.
turned to Apple Music and everything like that. So with all this music licensing and everything, people are
Yeah.
getting more comfortable with not owning anything because, especially with Netflix too. Now you move into another generation with Netflix where before everyone used to love owning DVDs. Like, oh look, I got DVDs here, DVDs there, blah blah blah. I have all these stuff, and then boom, next thing you know, nobody wants to own DVDs anymore because this is easier to stream. It's convenient. And just like games, now you don't have to go to the store to buy games. You can just download them. So as something becomes more convenient, we also lose that that tangible
Ownership.
feeling
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
tangible.
ownership as well. I
Yeah.
mean, we never had the ownership, but now for sure they can take it away from us. So if there's a game that they say, hey, we no longer want no one to play it, they can take it out and you just can't do nothing about
No, you should refund me then,
it.
because that's my copy.
Yeah.
That's my copy. I mean, I don't
We,
know, man.
we got to read that fine print.
Yeah, man. Like
Man, they
it's
better make that fine print legible so to give me the
Oh
choice
no,
of,
that's why it's the fine print, right?
you
That's
know,
the
like this is why I will never get rid of stuff like this, right? Like, look at this, like,
you can't find those anymore, right?
yes,
Those are.
Dragon Ball GT, like, no, you can't, like,
Mhm. Yeah,
no.
DVDs are just a thing of the past, man. It's like it's tough,
Look at
man.
that chat.
Like it's funny too. I started
Cameras like
reading again.
disappeared.
As he,
You know,
oh yeah, you can kind of a little blurry.
it's like looking blurry. I don't know why, because I guess
I
I'm
think
trying
his
to,
chest. I think they're blurring out his chest. So,
yeah. They saw
but
all this muscle.
But you know what it is? It's funny. Like it kind of goes both ways. Because for example, kind of off the video games, I've been doing a lot of reading lately. So, at first I started with books, and then now I have a Kindle. And as much as I like reading books in my hand, the Kindle is so much more convenient just to use digitally. Just have it there, close it, and it's just like convenient.
Nah,
But at any
hard
point
copy
too.
for me, man. I can't do the Kindle.
Hmm.
Like, the minute that they say, like, they can take your books away, like, especially if you have a good book, like a good reading, like,
Hmm.
and then sometimes you want to go back and read those books. I was like, nah. I was like, I'm a get the paper. I don't care.
Hmm.
I was like, nah.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll try to, but so it's just, it's the way of the world.
Yo, I got
Um,
like 300 books on my iPad, bro.
300 bucks on your iPad?
Yeah, because I used to get books from Humble Bundle too.
Oh
Like they
yeah,
just
but
would,
I think you
so I would
said
just buy a bunch of
I
books.
thought you said bucks, like
No,
$300.
books,
Okay,
books.
about to say
Mhm.
300
Nah,
books.
I have so
Wow.
much books, and I've read when I was reading Game of Thrones, right?
Hmm.
I read I read three of the books like this,
Hmm.
and I read two of the books, the real books, and man, I feel like I prefer reading on this just because there's something about a tactile feel of turning pages and
Hmm.
reading, but also this, like the one thing I like is you can highlight stuff and come back
Hmm.
to it. Just certain tech things you could do. I feel like I now when I'm reading stuff because half the time I be forgetting shit when reading, so
Hmm.
sometimes I need to go and like, or if there's some part I feel like I need to remember, I can just highlight it, come back to it, go.
Hmm.
So they do make it, but like at the same time, like you said, they could take away all this shit at any point they
Yeah.
want. The
Yeah.
iPad just don't
Yeah.
work.
I
Isn't
mean,
that the theme?
I
Is that the
get
theme
it.
of 1984? Like, oh, what? No, I don't know if it's
Yeah, the Big
1984.
Brother,
Big Brother. They can
we're
see it. They can take
getting
it away. You can't do nothing about it. It's just,
wait till
you
all
know.
the AI figures all this shit out,
Oh,
and then
forget
they
about
just
it.
take it
AI
away
is
from us.
exploding.
Oh
Like
man.
AI is just like it's pretty much I don't know, man. It's real scary where we're moving. Because look at AI video. Now Google just announced their VO3, which
Oh,
I never even
VO3
heard of
is
before.
it's $250 a month.
Yeah, but it makes videos look like realistic. Like I've seen demos of people and like fake car shows, and people are talking like they're real people and moving in the camera. It's on some ways it's actually pretty cool because if you have an idea or something that you want to try out or kind of see, you can kind of spitball it. But another way too, it's like for creatives and just your ownership, everything you're making is going to be consumed by this AI for its own use. And Mhm.
Somebody put it well. They're like, we fucked up with what we did with AI because AI should be doing the shit like our laundry and shit that we don't want to do, and not
Mhm.
doing the other shit that we should be doing, like the creative shit.
Create stuff
It should be
exactly.
the other way around. Like,
Mhm.
we still gotta wash dishes and fucking do all this other shit. Like, we should make AI should be doing that. Nah,
I
now we,
mean,
we
yeah.
got it painting and doing all our artistic shit,
Yeah.
I
taking away
mean,
our souls.
it's coming that way because what Nvidia and I think Tesla this month they're announcing their robots now factory they're moving to factory robots now.
Oh, that's
So
over, man. iRobot is coming, man.
Oh yeah.
it is coming. It is coming. I mean, is it scary? Yes. Is it something that's gonna be kind of useful? Yes. At the same time, like, we don't know how
But
dangerous
I
is
want to be
gonna
a
be.
robot racist. I'm just not gonna get them away.
Hmm.
No equality for robots. I don't want people to be falling in love with robots and stuff. Like I'm
People
telling you,
already
Yeah.
have. People
Yeah,
already
like
have.
if you really look at it, I mean, they're almost
it's
taking
like the
over.
plot of Overwatch. It's
Like
kind of
there's
crazy.
some supermarkets, like there's some supermarkets that I go to. They have these security robots that just follow you in the store, like those tall tower robots on wheels. I don't know if you've seen that before, but it's like they have a camera, and when you're walking, it's just like looking at you, like it moves very slow, and it's so obvious, like you just can't miss it, and it feels a bit intrusive, like it just feels weird. Like I know it's
Really?
there to
They have that in
deter
New York?
like shoplifting and everything like that, but it is just so unreal that you have this robot or machine looking at you or recording you, and it just feels like wow, very dystopian.
Wow, they have that in New York?
Yeah, they have it. It was in the Pathmark in Springfield Gardens. Not they have it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, they have them out. They'll just come in, just look at you, and I guess to humanize it, what they do sometimes is they put like these funny faces on it, but in
Hmm.
reality, it's still a camera,
Yeah, that's
looking
camera
at
look
you and
at you.
trying to
That's
make
what I
sure
would
that you're
do
not
to
stealing.
get one of those. Oh, blur that out. Haha.
Beep.
Uh, are we gonna and
So yeah,
Dito? What have you been playing?
so I've been playing Call of Duty.
Which
I
one?
think the season 4 came out for Black Ops 6. I mean, it's all right. It's not what I was expecting. I thought they would have come out with a new zombie map, but it was the same old zombie map that we had last season. So it was okay. I sat down, play with my friends, and well, Call of Duty like to release new guns, which is not new guns. It's like old guns that they just remastered
Mm.
and brought back. So it was nothing too spectacular. So I think this is the first time that I didn't purchase the season pass. I was like, nah, I think I'm good. I'm gonna let that be. So, and then I've been back on it since because I'm training for a half marathon coming up in a few
Oh,
days.
okay.
So I've been kind of laid back on the video game. I think before Call of Duty, I was playing uh Ragnarok, God of War. So because they released that new skin for God of War, so I wanted to try it out. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Good games, very good games.
I haven't played
Have
Call of Duty since Black Ops 4. Man, and
Oh,
that was when they had their first attempt at uh battle royale with blackout mode. Oh,
how
that
hmm
was
was
that?
so much fun.
Mm.
I love
uh,
that.
I mean,
That
Warzone is back, and it seems like it's doing okay.
I'm
But
so bad at Warzone. It's so crazy.
I am so bad at it. Also, like it's a different ball of game. But
Yeah.
um,
Is Warzone more like Fortnite now, or is
No.
it just like
uh,
Warzone's crazy because
it's
the
crazy.
thing about like if you play like Blackout was very more traditional in terms of like uh Call of Duty in terms of like traditional way of like a battle royale. Like when you land, you got to scrounge for everything, and that's how the whole game is. You're never gonna. But the way Warzone works is, at
Mhm.
least from when I haven't played Warzone in a couple years, but like you have a loadout that you can get dropped to you, and then you have everything you want, which is kind of very different than like other battle royales. Because
Yeah,
Mhm.
once you get everything you want, you're probably just gonna be a killing machine anyway. You're just gonna kill everybody because you have your setup, especially if your team is really rocking or whatever. But
Mhm.
yeah,
like Blackout was like, you might never find that shit you want, which is like the whole point of battle royale to me was you would land and you just hope that you just end up around the good shit eventually, or
yeah,
you
yeah,
kill it and take it off of somebody.
Mhm.
But Warzone, you get your loadout, and you're most likely gonna have what you want in your loadout. So it
yeah.
Mhm.
kind of changes that whole battle royale part of it, especially the fact that too that I know like the fact that you can come back from
Mhm.
dying, kind of, you go to the gulag, whatever you do, like oh battle royale, you dead, you dead. You ain't no second chances.
Mhm.
So the victories in that to me felt a little bit more like like had these kind of moments, like you just never knew what weapon you were gonna have at the end. You never knew how everything was gonna end.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where I'm not saying like in Warzone there aren't moments like that, but it's definitely different. Like the scrambling to get stuff you still gotta do, but it's different when you get a loadout dropped
Yeah.
to you with all the shit you have.
So yeah, in Warzone also you gotta know where to land, where to go to, like, and start picking up people off, and then and then you gotta study the circle where the circle gonna end, which is it can be in your advantage, can be in your disadvantage. So yeah, so that's all I've been playing lately. Nothing too crazy. Um, I think Warhammer. My brother was telling me to download it because it's kind of got a vibe of Alien Fire Team.
The Space Marine too.
Yeah. So
People
I
say a
don't
lot
know,
of good
man.
things about that. I
Yeah,
haven't I haven't played it, but
I heard a lot of good things too, but I was like, I don't know. But we'll see though. We'll see. But I don't have any game in the horizon that I want to play yet.
Did
I
they
know
release
just
any? Oh, I was like, did they release any information about the next Call of Duty?
not really because
No,
right,
we'll see it
we'll
in
see,
the NBA Finals. We'll see a trailer, I'm sure,
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah,
like they
yeah,
do
yeah,
every
yeah. That's
year
true. Yeah,
with
yeah.
with Eminem music,
Yeah, you see it. Yeah.
and
The
then
thing is, like
we'll see it in November.
GTA 6 gonna killed it.
But
But
since
this is
GTA 6 ain't coming out to win,
May
2020, I think
26.
26 year. It got
Yeah,
delayed.
but it
yeah, so
got
it's next
delayed.
year, right? So
I
Mhm.
mean, they'll have a couple months, right? But once GTA 6 comes out, like
I
well,
mean,
they're
it's
starting to
that.
say. Well, the thing too is obviously you want to steer clear of GTA 6, but like they've said that the Call of Duty sales are not what they
mm-mm.
used to be.
Oh,
They're
definitely
not.
not.
They're not that bankable because I think people are finally at the point where like, okay.
Yeah,
After
because
20,
they keep
And
coming out
Modern
with these
Warfare 3
skins.
was a joke. I mean,
hmm
let's be real.
I
They
mean, Modern Warfare actually Modern Warfare 3 is kind of good now because most of the COD player that I watch playing on YouTube,
yeah.
they went back to Modern Warfare 3 because
Well,
Black Ops 6 is like so terrible.
I mean, I'm thinking like more of like the people that buy it for like the campaign and stuff. And the
Oh yeah,
campaign of
yeah, yeah.
Modern Warfare 3 was
Mm.
literally
Nah, that
the
was trash.
Warzone
Yeah,
maps just
yeah.
yeah, with missions in them. It was like copy and paste it. It was and then the ending was so apparently so bad.
I'll tell you this: the last campaign I played was in Black Ops 4.
Mm.
You know, it's funny too. When the last Call of Duty I played was like the Modern Warfare for PS4, and as
That was
much as I,
probably like that's what they said was like the last good one was like
Mhm.
that.
But you know what's funny? I've never played that. I've never played that campaign. I played a little bit through it, but after a while, I'm like, I might as well play multiplayer. I just feel like I know why I'm here. You know, we're here for the multiplayer, and I don't know. It was just like that was the first Call of Duty game where I just never really cared about the campaign, and I just went straight to the multiplayer.
I mean, we'll see because they said like if Warzone didn't hit, as they were expecting, they're gonna kill Warzone completely. But I don't know. So far, I've been seeing some people playing Warzone, but it's not
Mhm.
as popular as it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think with also too, there's so many free to play games out there now, and people can like, especially the kids, they can just play other games like Fortnite. What is it? Roblox is a big one. I haven't never played
mhm,
Roblox, but I heard that's also another juggernaut as well.
yep.
Oh, before we get started on the Switch 2
Hmm
stuff.
Mhm.
So they had this big Unreal Engine thing today, this Unreal Engine presentation. And if anybody knows me, I am the biggest like Witcher 3. Just give me
Oh yeah.
all,
Oh, I knew you were gonna talk about. I know what you were gonna
give
talk
me
about.
all the I will suck off the Witcher 3 till the end of time. It's just one of the best fucking games I've ever played. It's perfect. In 2015, I sometimes boot it up still. It still looks better than just games now. I don't care. The art design, everything. Just the
Mhm.
things that happen. Such a phenomenal game. So much so that I don't even think The Witcher 4 is going to match up to it. I don't care. However, they released obviously a very you know how gameplay trailers are nowadays. They had a
Mhm,
guy on stage doing it. It's very scripted,
mhm.
but oh my god, it looks so good.
Yeah,
The Witcher
IGN.
4. Oh, I don't normally always just go like day one purchase, but I'm
Mhm.
getting that like just oh,
Can
I'm
can we
so ready cuz
share screen it? Can we look at
Let's
it?
see. I can
bring it
probably.
up, watch the trailer, something. Splice a little bit. It's a little bit of a long presentation. It's about 15 minutes.
Oh,
But
I'm sure somebody probably like made it.
they'll just link it something. I don't know, but it's phenomenal.
The Witcher
It
4 trailer
The Witcher 4. It's not the trail. It's like there's like a
presentation.
gameplay something. They don't show any combat. They just show you know how they do with these things. They just show the environment. They show the character walking, even though you'll
Hmm
never walk in that game. You're always gonna run and stuff like that. But they just show the interaction and all the things. It was an Unreal Engine tech demo more so
hmm
than anything. But
mhm.
you know, the CD Project Red engine has shown its age, kind of thing. And
hmm
my thing is, I love The Witcher 3. I tried to really love Cyberpunk, but I just
There's too much
didn't.
stuff going on.
really get into Cyberpunk. I played maybe 30% of Cyberpunk, but Witcher, I can't wait for them to just please give me more Witcher, please. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, with ray tracing and everything. That was
Yeah,
a
I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be.
All right, you guys see it right now.
yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
All right, so let me just play it real quick. They
But that's like, I don't know if this is the one that shows the gameplay.
Sleep is he? The ploughing plonker.
But this is in-game graphics, though.
Blasted, pit-ridden tract.
it's good.
You get to play as a woman, right?
Yeah.
Where's feared on dry road? Oi! The devil's after it! This running from!
I actually didn't see this.
Oh, god damn.
The blood of children.
How he's not getting burned? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that shit was good.
Plus your point for Witcher.
A coin for the Witcher.
Salt. Almost had me fooled, Fruin.
Oh, she looked good.
So they after this, I think this is where they start the gameplay demo, like kind of right here.
Yeah,
And then they show us like walking through and stuff. Oh, it's
it was
just
like it looks good. It looks really good.
it's and that's the thing I'm scared because a lot of times nowadays these games really do show great trailers, and then you play the game, and I mean CD Projekt Red kind of has a reputation to uphold where they've really kind of fucked themselves over with how bad Cyberpunk launched, even though Cyberpunk's in a great state now,
Yeah,
but
that definitely ruined their reputation a
but
bit.
like they really hurt them, and I'm hoping they were like, they kind of went back to saying we learned a lot from that. We'll see, but if they did, then I think The Witcher is their element more so than Cyberpunk was. So I feel like they'll be all right. I hope so.
So apparently, well, there's a Sony State of Play tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wasn't even tracking that.
Yeah, it is. We're gonna talk about the Switch too, and then Sony's gonna have a state of play. I don't know what it's gonna be on, but
Probably
the
the
next PlayStation Portable, because I think there was a rumor that they have PlayStation Portable going on for on Sony's
that'd be
side.
interesting to announce right before the Switch
So-
2 comes out.
What's going on with the portable, the Switch? I thought they had a portable already. Like
So they have a PlayStation 5 Portal. So I guess it's like a way. It's kind of like how the Wii U was to the how the Wii Pad was to the I guess Wii. Is that you can just use this to play the PS5 remotely over Wi-Fi, pretty much anywhere. I think right, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I think as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection, it can connect to your PlayStation wherever you are.
Yeah, which I think
But
it's kind of cool.
what was the first one before? The one like you had to get I guess it was a portable PlayStation.
A
So
Vita
PSP
or a
or
PSP or a Vita?
no. Did they came out with a portable PlayStation?
PS Portal,
PS
right? That's
PS Portal,
yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, PS Portal. That's what I was talking about. Where you need a Wi-Fi to be able to play it.
It's just basically a screen and a PlayStation controller.
Is it a different version of it? Because they
No,
keep that-
they're going with a full on we're thinking they're gonna come out with a full-on handheld,
Yeah,
right?
I think they want to compete with the Force, the Switch 2, and also the Steam Deck. If
Yeah.
rumors have it correct, 'cause I don't know if the rumors are accurate. Kind of the same thing with Xbox. Like there was also a rumor that Xbox is also teaming up with another
Except they pulled back.
manufacturer. You pulled back on it, right? Okay.
You
There's
know why? Because Steam just proved that Windows sucks for portables.
hmm
So
Mm.
Steam, now that Steam OS is like, oh, we'll just put Steam OS on anything, and they just found out it works better in
hmm
terms of like performance. Like
Mhm.
you actually get more frames and stuff from playing on Steam OS than Windows. So they probably saw that and said, well, wait a minute,
Let's just push Game Pass and call it a
and
day.
let's not fight. You know, you got to be careful. Steam is a lot more stronger.
Mhm.
You know, when they
Yeah,
come into the wherever,
because Steam has pretty much like I'm sure like 90% of the install base, right?
yeah, because I mean, what are you gonna go? Epic Games, like that's the other one. That's the only other
Is this still
slight
EA games?
competitor.
Do EA games have their own thing now?
I think they got rid of. They had
Yeah,
Origin. I don't know if they still
yeah.
have that,
Origin's
but
done, right? I think that
I
can
think they
that's
said they were done with that. The
yeah.
only thing good about Epic Games though is that they do give free games all the time, like really good games. They don't. It's
hmm
not just like trash games. Like I think I just got Tiny Tina's Wonderlands or something for free.
Mm.
It was, so I was like, oh, In fact, that's why I'm logging in right now to see what games I got for free.
So
Look, right now, you want to get Death Stranding Director's Cut? Oh no, that's not free. Never mind. No, it's still Tiny Tina's Wonderland and Limbo. You remember that game,
Oh,
Limbo?
Limbo, Xbox 360 arcade game. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's downloaded it not too long ago.
Let me actually get that for free right now. Disorder. All right, Limbo.
so
Got
many games. So
hmm
many games.
add that to my. Guys, I remember I said I had 500 games on Steam, and I forgot I have a whole library of games on Epic too. I have
Wow,
how many games
that's
I have on
crazy.
Epic? I have 220 games on Epic. Now
I get. hmm
some of them are cross games, like I probably have them on Steam too. But a
hmm
lot of them I know I don't. Like, holy, I have so many games.
I guess that's the only plus about digital games that you can just amass a
I,
crazy amount of
I
games.
have like if I were never to buy a new game, I could
hmm
probably play games till I die and not finish the collection of games I have.
Yeah,
Like,
like
this is 700 games I have on PC.
on my 360 alone, I have 100 something games. And
Right.
it's not a lot comparatively, but it's just like crazy to even think that, all these free games from Xbox, and this is Xbox alone, not even games that I bought, because I have my
Yeah.
own collection of Xbox 360 games. But just for the free games alone, I already have over 100. And I couple that with all the games that I have for the Xbox 360, that's like a hefty collection.
It is.
Yeah,
I
so it's
Scott
like,
Pilgrim here. I have so much. All
mhm.
the Bioshocks, Kingdom Hearts.
Mm.
Mm. So let's talk Switch too, boys.
So, all right, give me 1 second. Let me just, because we talked a lot about other stuff, so we'll probably do the Switch 2 as a separate presentation. So let
Is
me
that
just,
what you want to do?
yeah, we'll talk about Switch. Why not?
Oh, I
I
have
agree.
Skyrim. I didn't even realize I had Skyrim. I always wanted to play, and I have the special one. What? I have to play Skyrim.
Are you
I've
gonna do an
never,
outro?
I've never played Skyrim.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can keep it like this. I think it was just a casual conversation, so I think it was cool. I'm gonna keep it as games we've been playing. Then after, we'll just kind of just do maybe 15 minutes or so talking about the Switch 2 and everything else,
Yep.
and let's do that.